Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the Mountain Miss Afghan, a free pattern by Yarnspirations. It's an older pattern, and this also reminds me of Breaking Amish as far as the Afghan that was appearing on the show. It's not quite the same pattern, but to me it reminds me of that. So what we're going to be doing today is breaking down the pattern so that you have the exact size here, and I'm going to show you how to change the size in order to make it customized for whatever your purposes are, and I'll also give you some advice on colors too. So this is an older pattern by Yarnspirations.com. I should tell you that the yarn that you see here has been discontinued. And so what we're going to be doing today is that we're going to be substituting using Caron 1 pound yarn. If you don't want to go through the hassle of changing the color strategically, and there's a link in the more information on this video so that you can actually figure out what the colors are and or get close to it, and just it's all about the amount of rows per color. If you would like to be even more lazier about it, how about Caron cakes? Why not let the colors transition on its own? The colors will come out as is, but you will notice that it will not end up being like completely solid before changing over, so it might change over midway through. It still looks very appealing once it's all done up in Caron cakes, because I've seen examples done like this. And so I think you're gonna have a really good time today. We're gonna be using Caron 1 pound yarn today, and we're gonna get started in just a moment. So if you went to the video description and click the link, you'll end up on a page where this particular graph is being shown. So it's a crochet diagram. You can see all the breakdown. Daniel did this for me as well, and what we've just done is we've taken the written instructions and made this here for you so that you can have it. And then once you get beyond the first one here, it's just a repeating of the same rows going up and down. So once you get up here, it's just the same, and then you'll just chain up here and then continue back and forth. Really quite easy to do, and also the color breakdown is here. So you're going to notice that you're going to chain 157 if you want to get this exact one, but if you want to change the size to any size that you wish, you just have to chain in multiples of 11 plus 3. So you'll go 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you want it bigger, then keep going 1 through 11 again, keep on going, and then at the very end of the chain you'll add 3 in order to keep it in balance, just like so. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get you started. I'm going to then show you then how to change your colors if you would like to do so, and of course if you want to be lazy about it, Caron cakes is the way to go. So using a 5.5 millimeter size H crochet hook, let's begin to play. So here's an example to make sure that I understood the pattern, and you can see it's going up and down in the waves. The whole secret is within the amount of rows of changing the same color. So you want to really be considerate about that when you're going to do it in order to make it work. So you can see mountaintops and then valleys just like so, and that diagram that I showed you earlier is matching this exactly. So now let's grab our yarn and let's begin. So creating a slip knot to begin, and you're going to either chain 157 if you want the exact pattern, or if you want to change the size, then you can just chain in multiples of 11, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So the multiple of 11. So this, if you really look at it from this perspective, this is going up and down. So this is just one section, so it's like one chevron. So if you want to get bigger, you can do so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and keep on going if you want it bigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And if you're customizing it like I am right now, then just make sure you add 3 extra chains when you're satisfied. So 1, 2, 3. So that's it for now, and if so the other one was 157, or this was multiples of 11 plus 3. Let's start row number 1. So we've now just made the chain that goes all the way across, just like you see here, and it will be 157 if you're working on the exact pattern, and if it'll still look the same even though it's, so just look at it as in groups. There's 3 groups here, so 1, 2, and 3, and then there's plus 3. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go 4 chain from the hook as a double crochet, and that counts as 2 double crochets right here in the end. If you look all the way to the other side, that's how you're ending, with 2 double crochets on the other side too. So then you just chain 1, skip 1, double crochet the next, chain 1, skip the next one, put 3 double crochets in the next one, chain 3, and in the next chain you'll put 3 double crochets in, then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and then we're gonna put the next 3 together just like you see here. So what I want you to look at more than anything is see where this is right here. Look how it's different in the next row. So every other row now beyond this row here is the same as this. This is just to get you started in order to get that formation right off the bat. So without further ado, let's work our way across number 1. So let's begin working across. So we're gonna go 4th chain from the hook. So here, count back. So here's 1, 2 and 3. So go to the 4th one just like you see here, and you're gonna turn it over and get the back loop of that 4th chain, and you're going to double crochet just like that. Okay, so there is your 2 double crochets that you see. So this chain 3 that you just skipped over, and then this new double crochet is 2 double crochets on the end. You're going to chain 1 and come back to the chain, skip the next one, go to the 2nd over, and you're going to double crochet. So we're going up the hill at this moment if you're looking at it from that perspective. Chain 1, skip 1, and then you're going to put in 3 double crochets into the 2nd one over. So just skip 1 and just go to the 2nd one over and put in 3 double crochets. So this will be 1/2 side of the mountain side. Okay, so just think about it as mountains, might as well call it that. It's a mountain mist Afghan. So now you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and come to the very next stitch that's available to you, the next chain, and you're going to put in 3 double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 3, just like you see. Okay, so now we're gonna chain up 1, skip 1, and double crochet into the 2nd one over, and we're coming down the other side of the mountain on the toboggan, the crochet toboggan I guess you could say. And you got 1 in there, you're gonna chain 1, and now you're gonna skip 1 and you're gonna put the next 3 together. So skip 1, and how we do that is that we wrap the hook and we go to the 2nd one over, in, pull through 2 and hold. And I'll show this again in the next one as we work our way down. So then you're gonna do it again. So wrap the hook, go into the next chain, in, pull through 2 and hold it, and then do it again. So wrap the hook, going into the next chain, pull through 2 and hold, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. Just yarn over and pull through all 4. So those 3 just became into 1 just like I showed on the diagram. So you're at the very base of your mountain. Okay, so now you're in the valley. So we're gonna work our way up the other side. So we're gonna chain up 1, we're gonna skip the next one, double crochet into the next after that. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and now you're going to do the half of the side of the mountain, right? So we're gonna put 3 double crochets into this one. So they're kind of like really small ups and downs in comparison to other things you may have seen. Okay, so once you get half of the mountain in, chain 3, that goes over the peak of the mountain, and then you come into the next one, and then you're gonna come into the next chain and just put in 3 double crochets on that side. So this row is the only time you do it like this, and then all the other rows after this one are all the same. So you got your 3 into this one, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet to the next, chain 1, skip 1, and then you're gonna put the next 3 together. So skip 1, go into the next one, and we're gonna put the 3 together. So just yarn over, pull through 2 and hold it, yarn over, go into the next one, pull through 2 and hold it, yarn over, next one, pull through 2 and hold, and now you got your 4 loops back on your hook, pull through all 4, and that was the very base again. So kind of looking at it from this perspective of ups and downs, it really gets more easier to look at once you get further on into this for the bending. So chain up 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, we're working our way up the hill, up the mountain, chain 1, skip 1, and now we're gonna do the side of the top. So there's gonna be 3 double crochets into that one. So 1, 2, and 3, then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's the top of your mountain. Come into the very next stitch and put in 3 more double crochets to go down the other side. Okay, and then you're gonna come down the side, so chain up 1, skip 1, and watch how you finish. So you're just gonna go all the way across. Yours will obviously be bigger, but you're gonna go all the way across doing the same thing, and then at the very end you're gonna chain 1, skip 1, and then when you're coming down, the last two will be double crochets. Okay, so you just like you see. So the last one is also a double crochet. So there's 2 double crochets in a row when it comes to this final one. So it's gonna kind of all look warpy right now, but that's because the next rows are needed in order to keep its shape. So let's move on to row number 2, which is gonna be the same for all of the rest of this particular Afghan. Okay, so let's pick up our work and let's move on to row number 2. So row number 2 is the same of all other rows. Even if there's color changes, it's still gonna be the same. So what we're gonna do is that we gotta think about how in the bottoms that we're eliminating stitches out and how in the tops we're adding stitches, and I'll explain a little bit more of that as we go. So we're gonna chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's your double crochet. So chain 3 is the double crochet, and you're gonna come into the first one of the solo double crochet that's standing by itself before you hit the top of the side of the mountain. Okay, so you're skipping over this one, going right into that one there, and you're gonna double crochet into that one. Okay, so you chain 3 and then you double crochet into the solo by itself, and now you're gonna chain 1, and now you're going to come into the very first one of the group of 3. See how there's 1, 2 and 3 stitches? You're gonna come into the very first one and you're gonna double crochet. So this is your new solo one that sits by itself. Just think about these two are like these two sitting together. This is your new solo. So chain up 1, and now this is what we're going to do. On the top of the mountain, so skip right to this chain 3 space, you're gonna put in 3 double crochets. So let's do that as we go. So put in 3, and then we're not done. So this is 1/2 side of the mountain, so chain up 3 to go over the peak, and then back into that same space again, and you're gonna put in 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So let's see how we go down the hill. So we're gonna chain up 1 before we start, and see this group of 3 in the right here. What we're gonna do is you're gonna come into the very last one of the group of 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So go into the last one of the group of 3 and double crochet. This is your new solo one that sits by itself, and then you're gonna chain up 1. So see how you got these 3 that are all together? Okay, so you got the 3 that were grouped and you got the 2 solos that are left. So what you're going to do is that you're going to use the 1 solo, the middle, and the last solo to be your together. That'll be your 3 together for double crochet. So wrap the hook, go into the first solo, pull through 2 and hold it. Now I want you to go into the very next one, okay, which is right here, and you're gonna pull through 2 and hold it, and then you're gonna come into the last solo. So wrap into the last solo, pull through, and you got 4 loops on your hook, so you know you're right. So pull through everything. Okay, so you just made this one, the middle, and this one all together as one this time around. So chain up 1, and I want you to then move up. So we're gonna go up the hill again. So the first one will be right in the first one of the group of 3. So it's the very first one. So this is your new solo by itself. Okay, chain 1, and now you're gonna go up over top of the mountain. So the first side is 3 double crochet, and then you're gonna go up over the top of the mountain. So chain your 3, and then down the other side. So same space, put in 3 double crochet. Just like that. And now you're gonna chain 1, and now you see the group of 3 that you have. It's the last one of the group of 3. So count it over 1, 2 or 3, or just look for the first one of the group of 3 right where I'm pinching, and you're gonna put in your new double crochet, which is your solo by itself, and then chain 1. And now we're looking and we're in the valley. So we have the middle one here, we got the 2 solos, so we're gonna put those 3 together. So wrap, going into the first solo, pull through 2 and hold it, wrap, going into the middle one, pull through 2 and hold it, and then go into the last solo. It's just a double crochet by itself, pull through 2 and hold. Got 4 loops onto the hook, pull through all 4. Chain 1, and let's go up the mountain again. So looking at the group of 3, it's the first one. Okay, and then chain 1, and let's go up over top of the mountain. So we're gonna do 3 double crochet first. So what are we gonna do for the peak? Do you remember? It's gonna be chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and come down the other side into the same space, and there's gonna be 3 double crochet in that space. So you're just gonna go across all the way doing the ups and downs here. You'll see that it's now gonna start holding its shape better, and as you come down the very final side that you have here, you're gonna chain up 1 going into the first one here right where I'm pinching. So there's 1, 2 and 3. It's the first one. Okay, and now chain 1. Okay, so that's your new solo. And so what you're going to do then is you're gonna come into the solo by itself, and you're just gonna double crochet, and then you are going to double crochet into the turning chain right here, right where I'm pinching. And that's how you finish these rows. Okay, so you got, it looks like that. So it just is gonna take another row for it to settle down, and then we're gonna begin again. So I'm gonna show you this row one more time a little bit quicker, and then we're gonna continue on from that, and I'll show you how to change colors. So let's turn up our work and let's begin again. So it's exactly the same row as you just did. So I'm just gonna go a little quicker. So you're gonna chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and then you look for the first solo that's not part of this front beginning here. So see the peak? It's the one that's sitting beside it before the peak, and you're gonna double crochet in that one, and now chain 1. So chain 1, and you're gonna go up into the peak. Sorry, you're gonna go into the first one of the group of 3. Okay, this is your new solo. Chain 1 and now go over the peak. So there'll be 3 double crochet to begin. Go up over top of it, which is chain 3, and then down the other side for 3 double crochet. So when you get that done, you're gonna chain 1, and then you're gonna come into the first one here, like right where I'm pinching, and you're gonna go into that one for a double crochet, chain 1, and now you're gonna put these 3 together. So you got the solo, the middle, and the solo. So just put those 3 together. Okay, and pull through all 4 loops, chain 1, and now work up the other side. So you're gonna come into the first one there of the group of 3, and now you're gonna go up over the top. Just make sure you chain 1. You just got to remember to keep chaining 1 in between when you're doing those ups and downs, and in the tops you just got your chaining 3 as you go up over the top of the mountain, and then down the other side. So when we go to change color, you're gonna have to use a darning needle to hide in your ends with this particular design. No big deal. So chain up 1 and then come down, so you're going into the first one of the group of 3, chain 1. Okay, that's your new solo. So you're gonna put the middle together, so that kind of pulls it all back in balance, and then chain 1 and then go up the other side. So then you got 1 by itself in the first one of the group of 3, chain 1 and then go up over the top. Chain 3. So it's an easy pattern to be able to remember in front of the television. If you ask me, you don't really got a lot of significant counting, and it's easy to look away and then come back to it without having to think hard about it. So chain 1, move down the other side, so come into the first one, the group of 3, then chain 1, and then the very last one when you go to put these together, the one solo is gonna be in, okay, and then just a double crochet into the turning chain like that. So you can see how it looks right now. So if you want to change a color, here's what I'd recommend. Just fasten off your yarn completely. You can do a breaking technique or whatever if you want to, but I would probably just recommend that you just use this line in here and just weave it in and out of these yarn strands here, okay, or of the last one. And I want you to go up at least over top of the hill to get that in there. The trick is that you can hide this one really quite easily. You can't hide that starting one very easily of the new color. So the new color one will have to be used with the darning needle in order to hide that in. So go up right over top, and therefore when you put your stitches in, that'll get lost. So let's turn our work and begin the next one. So we're gonna just bring on pink here, and what I'm gonna just do is that I'm gonna create an extra long tail because I'm gonna use a darning needle to fasten that in, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. And we're going to then just put a slip knot onto the hook and then go into the top of that first one that you started with. It's still the exact same stitch work, and just fasten it on with the slip stitch to just pull through and through. And now you're going to begin. So chain up 3, so 1, 2, 3. Let the straggler just fall out of the way. You can't hide this one in very easily, and just let it fall out of the way, and then you're just gonna come to the and do this quite easily. So you're just gonna just double crochet into the first solo like you had been before, and then chain 1, and then you come into the first one of the group of 3 as you make your way up, chain 1, and then you're gonna go up over top of the mountain. So you already know what to do at this particular point. All of the rows are the same, and it's just a matter of following it. You can change the colors as often as you wish, and even with Caron cake yarn and everything like that, you'd really have a kind of a neat idea. So you're just gonna follow along, and then you're just gonna go back and forth as you see it. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna stop here because I've already taken this through you twice. So what I would do with this darning needle in my other hand, which I'll put in a second, is that take the starting strand of this pink one here. You can't hide it underneath the stitches. So what I would recommend to you is just put it onto a darning needle, okay, and just trace it up through this beginning chain. So just going in and just trace it in right up into it and pull through, and then come back in the other direction for 2, and then go back finally for a 3rd time, and you can get rid of that completely right in the end. So now you can just trim that down, and usually what happens is that you can bury it underneath the yarn strands, but what happens here is that because you have red here that's so outstanding, dragging that across and letting it sit on top is gonna be very, very obvious. So you wanna use a darning needle in order to hide that in. So this is how you do the Mountain Miss Afghan. It's a free pattern by Yarnspirations. I hope that you enjoy, and until next time, have a great day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.